welcome to a very special episode of The Sip. I've actually got Nick out of the studio, no food, no wine.
Pause. There's no wine?
Not today.
I didn't know this before we got here. This is all new information to me now.
Because it is Earth Day and we are at the Bahamas National Trust retreat meeting with Anna and Elijah to hear about all the wonderful things BNT does for us Bahamians. So let's go meet up with Anna and Elijah and see what they have to say.
Let's go. I'm really happy to be here with my good friend Anna. We've known each other for a long time, but now I finally get to find out what you do in the secrecy of these wonderful, lush grounds at the retreat. So talk to me. Tell me what you're into. What's going on?
Yeah, so I've been with the BNT for 2 years now. Really started in pandemic times, but my official title is Director of Development and Communication. Some people get a little confused about what development means, and we use it interchangeably with fundraising. So all of the BNT's fundraising initiatives, whether that is membership or all of the really fun events. You might be familiar with the Retreat Garden in particular for two of those, Wine and Art and Jollification. This is a different pace today, and it really is a serene place to visit. But of course with communication, just letting people aware about the National Park Service, about the fact that you can come to places like this, catch a break, be socially distanced, enjoy nature, enjoy just a little bit of peace and quiet, bring the family. So that's what we do here within the BNT.
Well, I'm sold. That sounds calm and peaceful, like everything you need to get away from a busy day. So what are some of the initiatives that the BNT, at the retreat or otherwise, what do you guys do?
Yeah. So we are responsible for 32 national parks throughout the archipelago.
32?
Yeah, it's 2.2 million acres in total. We have offices and officers on 8 different family islands. On those islands, there are various parks. So you can visit any one of these parks. There would be infrastructure, there would be staff, whether that's park wardens, maybe an education officer, somebody to give you a tour of these spaces. So with that comes a lot of maintenance of a space like this. We have scientists on staff that help us with monitoring, whether that's with special species, whether they're endangered. There are lots of ways in which the BNT works. We have a huge grants portfolio, whether that's through the 3 pillars of the organization. I would call that parks, science, and education. And so throughout the year, we're operating on these different islands in these natural places in order to restore balance, in order to preserve the natural habitat and the natural resources for Bahamians of this generation in the future.
So in New Providence, I only know about 2. I know about the retreat and I know about the Primeval Forest. Are there any other ones scattered about on the side?
Absolutely. So you are missing some really great parks. One of those is Bonefish Pond National Park, just off of Cowpen Road. In that park, we have a 600-foot boardwalk for people to really walk through the mangrove forest. You end up at this pergola. There's lots of different signage as you look over into the water and you see the species, whether it's bonefish, whether it's turtles. This is a habitat. It's a mangrove creek system, a coastal wetland, and there's some really beautiful infrastructure there. There's also an opportunity to launch a kayak, to go snorkeling, to go swimming. Sometimes there's kayak tours that take place there, so that's a really great park to check out, open on Fridays and Saturdays, and most Bahamian holiday weekends. And then Harold and Wilson Pond would be the 4th in New Providence. So New Providence has 4 parks. Harold and Wilson, the Retreat Garden where we are today, Primeval Forest, and Bonefish Pond.
That would be good SIP trivia. We should see who could name all 4 of the parks in New Providence after the episode.
Or all 32. That would be amazing.
Don't push it. So one of the things that everybody's familiar with the retreat is some of your fundraising events. My 2 favorites are Wine and Art and Jollification. I'm not going to say why they're my favorites, just I enjoy the wine and not so much of the art, and there's a lot of jolly, but not a lot of fication. We'll leave it at that. What other fundraising initiatives do you guys engage in?
Well, those are definitely 2 of our most important to fund this garden in particular, and also just national parks in general. So those are really, really fun events. Of course, due to the pandemic, we've had a 2-year hiatus of these fundraising events. So of course, a drop in revenue, but given current restrictions and where we are really excited. I know. really excited to welcome people back into their national parks to host some of these fundraising events. So as of this moment, we are planning to reintroduce wine and art and jollification. I want to talk about as well, exactly. We're all looking forward to it. I want to talk about Earth Day as well, and the fact that on an annual basis, again, prior to the pandemic, we would celebrate a National Parks Day, the Saturday following Earth Day. This year, Earth Day happens to fall on Friday. So the next day, all national parks are going to be open. The retreat garden is not going to be included on one of those. It's actually booked out for a wedding that day. Lucky couple.
Oh, you do weddings here too?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be really humid to be in a suit.
So you can visit any of the national parks on 8 islands. Bonefish Pond and Primeval will be available on that day for National Parks Day for people in New Providence, and then 7 different islands. This is a day for people to come into nature, to re-engage with nature in the national park system. They can do yoga, they can do kayaking, they can do nature tours. We're hoping to have some wines and spirits there too to really bring people into the park. Exactly. And so that's National Parks Day, celebrated on Saturday, April 23rd, inviting everybody to come and experience nature in that day.
Oh, definitely. Nothing I like more than being outdoors in nature. And I mean, as humans, we obviously have a tremendous responsibility to take care of the planet, which is a great segue into your initiatives with recycling.
So yeah, recycling, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned it. Of course, we want to push everything environmental, especially on Earth Day. The BNT does have a few recycling receptacles at some of our parks. So the retreat does have one for you to return your cans, and we turn them over to Cans for Kids to recycle them.
Oh, that's excellent. And if you have glass bottles, do you guys take those too, or just cans for now?
Just cans here at the retreat, but glass bottles, of course, available at other recycling centers throughout New Providence. I think NPCC would be one of them.
Okay, excellent. So with National Parks Day coming up and all the things that you've said, I'm kind of curious now. How do I become a member of the BNT, and what does that membership come with?
Membership is a huge part of showing your support to the BNT year-round. Not only does it give you access to these national parks for free, any day of the year, not just on National Parks Day, but it does come with other perks of membership. We do have a reciprocal arrangement with some of the other national parks or national trusts. So in the UK, if you travel there, you can enter their properties in the UK trusts.
What?
Yes, exactly.
I didn't know that. Okay.
If you travel to Cayman, we have reciprocal membership with them too. So you can enter their National Trust properties free of charge. Likewise, when you visit your Bahamian National Parks, getting in for free. We've also engaged what we call a reward ship program as well. If you're shopping around town and you flash them your digital BNT membership card, you might be eligible for a discount or a shopping perk. But the ways in which you can sign up for membership, of course, you can do that at any national park that you visit on the spot. We also encourage people to sign up online. There are many tiers to membership, starting at just $30 a year for an individual membership, and there are certain tiers within that membership.
Students, groups, corporate, that kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Family membership, and another interesting one, particularly for the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park, or if you're a boater in particular, would be...
I'm being attacked by nature, sorry. Some drop on my arm.
No
Carry
problem.
on.
So another one which is really important for boaters, if you're a boater, you visit the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park, would be Support Fleet membership. It comes with a couple nights complimentary, anchorage, or on a mooring. So lots of different ways to get involved, lots of ways to be a member. We encourage the whole family to sign up. As you said, students, seniors, everybody is welcome.
Excellent. I mean, it's good to know, at least for me, I didn't know that the BNT was about more than just the fundraisers and the fun side of things. So it's awesome to know you could tour the Bahamas, pop into these national parks, and be at one with nature.
Exactly.
You also should probably drop the website link for anybody that wants to sign up.
BNT.BS. We're also all over social media, so lots of different channels for you to follow and to feel connected. Sign up for e-newsletters, of course, and we'll be connected with you online.
Cool. So somebody who has a wedding coming up, or in the process of planning a wedding, I should say, a nightmare.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Wonderful thing. You mentioned that you guys have weddings here. So if one wanted to organize a wedding here, how do we go about doing that?
Yeah, of course. So on our website, national parks are great venues for weddings, for conferences, for talks, for, private events. That's just another one of the ways in which these spaces can be utilized to the public. So we would welcome your wedding to be here, Nick.
So you talked about the Nassau events. What about the family islands? Can't leave them out.
Absolutely. The Family Islands cannot be left out because we do host events on those too. One of them is Festival Noel, which takes place on the first Friday in December. That is slated to return this year.
Yes, more good news.
Exactly. So our Grand Bahamians can get really excited about the return of that. That takes place at the Rand Nature Center. We are also returning to Ashore, which is in benefit of the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park this year. That's hosted at the Staniel Key Yacht Club. That's a great tour of the Exuma Keys by water. Pig Roast is another one of those events that takes place.
Where is that one? Now you got my attention.
That one is in Adelaide Village, so still here,
Yes, I can drive
still
there.
here in Nassau, but yeah, that one is returning this year as well as other conferences. We have a great education department that last year hosted this incredible education conference. It was virtual, and we like to return to outdoor classrooms for adult education as well. And over in Eleuthera at the Leon Levy Native Plant Preserve, they're going to be hosting a botany conference as well. We used to host a really great, similar to Wine and Art there. It was Art in the Park, so hoping for that return too. So lots of reasons to stay in touch, lots of reasons to hop around the archipelago and to join us for wine, art, and good times in National Park.
Thanks, Anna. That was really educational, really informative. I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to sign up for BNT membership now. I think we're going to go do a little walk around and then try to find Gabby and Elijah, who should be somewhere within these lush grounds of the retreat.
Once I had a gal, he called me Bill. Left me in the cold and pouring rain. So I decided to put her down. I took a trip to Boyne Town. There I met a gal named Ada Finn. Outside in the field, cotton kid. She looked so good, my nature rise, my Lord. And I look into her big brown eyes. I said,
Hi, my name is Elijah Sands. I'm the Senior Communications Officer at the Bahamas National Trust, and here's a tip for Earth Day. Go green. I'm talking about reducing, reusing, and recycling. So first, let's figure out how you can reduce the amount of energy or water or resources you use. Leaving lights off when you leave the house, make sure no water is running, unplugging appliances when you don't use them, reusing, buy reusable items like, green bags and water bottles that you can reuse. For the things you can't reuse, find out how you can recycle them. For example, like aluminum cans and plastic bottles. We have a receptacle here at the retreat for cans. So recycle the items that you can reuse and find out, what recycling programs exist in the Bahamas.
Well, I'm really, really enjoying myself at the retreat today. Thank you so much, Elijah, for showing me around. Can you tell me a little bit more about your specific role at BNT and what are the kind of projects and things that are going on now?
Sure. So my role is Senior Communications Officer at the Bahamas National Trust. I oversee our external communication efforts.
Okay.
So to ensure that we have an interactive website to make sure we always strategically communicating with all of our stakeholders, all of our partners, to make sure that people know about the national parks of the Bahamas and the work of the BNT. So not just promoting the parks locally, internationally, working with people like Ministry of Tourism and other industry partners. And also I'm also a photographer and filmmaker. So
Yes.
I create a lot of original content
Yes.
just to raise awareness about the parks. So anything you see on social media, anything out there about national parks, the BNT, strong chance I had something to do with that.
Okay.
So that's my current role. I get to go inside a lot, spend a lot of time in these incredible spaces, capturing the stories, capturing things about these places, just letting people know. Awareness is a very big part of the job. Protecting these spaces is a part of it, is letting people know these spaces exist and that we manage these spaces on behalf of all Bahamians. So that's one of the primary functions of my role, is to let people know that we're doing this for them and this is how you can get involved. So the BNT, we have a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of facets, a lot of components. There's always things we're working on. The BNT is a 62-plus-year-old organization.
Right.
We were created in 1958. We celebrated 60 years in 2019. Right now, one thing I should mention early on is that we look pretty different. Most people remember the BNT as the crest. That's how most people remember us.
Yes.
We recently had a rebranding.
Yes, a full
Yes.
rebranding.
In 2021, we now have this very
Here we are.
colorful, there you go, very colorful logo. That's very different from what people expect of us. And our logo just represents our work, the greens and the blues. The greens represents, our terrestrial environments and the terrestrial spaces we protect. And the blue represents, the marine spaces we protect, the marine protected areas in the national parks that protect marine spaces. And then the pink represents, biodiversity, that tropical pop. It speaks our, tremendous history, our success stories with species like the West Indian flamingo. And it also talks about our ongoing fight to save the queen conch.
Yes.
So the BNT has, again, a lot of programs, a lot of projects. Our three main pillars are education, science, and parks. So if we start off with parks, our main mandate is to manage the national park system of the Bahamas, manage and develop. We currently manage 32 national parks, which covers more than 2.2 million acres of land and sea, which is an incredible area if you think about how big that is.
Yeah.
We have parks on many, many different islands, and parks, were established in 1958, and we still have parks being established today. Education, we conduct award-winning education programs for youth and for adults. Again, we're always making people aware about these parks, teaching them about the environment, teaching them about conservation, and teaching them about why they should care about these things. We also conduct scientific research. So we have a full-fledged science team, terrestrial and marine, and our scientists are always out there on the ground conducting research, learning more about these spaces, more about these species, and how we should be protecting them. And then we also have a very strong development portfolio, development communications, my department.
Yeah.
And that's all about fundraising for these spaces, raising money to make these places sustainable and raising awareness about them. So BNT has a lot of incredible projects and programs always going on. Again, we have a very rich history, dating way back to the 1950s when we began. We began with the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park.
Okay.
There was a rich person, let's put it like that, who wanted to develop the Exuma Keys. And, we did an exhibition happened, and it was like, we need to protect this space. And that's how the BNT became the BNT. We were created in 1959 to do that. And over the 60 years, we've established more national parks. We have some incredible conservation successes. A lot of things we like to highlight is, protecting sharks in the Bahamas in 2011. Our work to save the West Indian flamingo again from extinction, the Bahama parrot. Incredible conservation stories. I know one thing people definitely may know us about is conservation. Conservation was a project we started in...
I was going to ask you, I did notice your pen, and I was curious to see if that tied into conservation at all.
Yeah, so the conservation project was something we started in 2012. Once we became aware that the queen conch, our beloved, iconic queen conch, was at risk for extinction for several different reasons, over-harvesting, harvesting of juveniles, habitat destruction, we said we need to save queen conch.
Right.
I mean, conch is a part of our cultural identity. Everybody knows that, if you think about what it means to be a Bahamian, you think about conch salad and all those things. Even
Right.
the tourists come here just to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So once we realized that this iconic species was in plight and very close to extinction, we said we need to do something about it. And so the conservation project was a project aimed at raising awareness about the plight of conch, raising awareness about the queen conch, getting people inspired to join the cause, and then eventually using all of that energy and all of that, I would say, effort, would have, all that effort to rally up supporters, rally up this community, and start suggesting policy recommendations. Start saying, okay, this is what we need to do to protect the queen conch. We need to create more marine protected areas and to put these laws in place to protect the queen conch from going extinct. So that project has been highly successful. One of the major highlights of that project, a lot of people would remember, is we produced a music video called Conch Gone, featured a lot of Bahamian artists. It was an incredible video for conservation. Featured artists like Wendy, Dyson Knight, and a lot of other Bahamian artists. We did that in collaboration with a lot of local partners. And it was this music video just basically explaining the plight of the queen conch and we need to save it. So our work to save conch is going on, it's continuing.
Right.
Right now, one of the major projects we have focused on conch is we're actually on the ground in Grand Bahama working with local communities to figure out sustainable livelihoods. Okay, the conch is in plight, we need to save it. Let's start looking at conch farming. Is something we're looking at. Conch ranching, I should say more specifically. Like, okay, can we do things to grow conch in captivity or grow them in a protected space to boost the population? And also, what other things can we fish? What other things can we do with the conch other than just harvesting them and eating them?
Yeah.
So our work to save queen conch is ongoing, and it's one of the major facets of our work for sure.
Amazing. So with all these projects and things that you have going on, tell me, how can people get involved? Like, how do you donate? How do you support everything that you've been speaking to me about today?
So the BNT is a non-profit organization. A lot of people don't know that. We have trust in the name. When you think of trust, you might think of a bank or financial institution. So we are a non-profit organization. So we rely on donations, we rely on memberships, we rely on support from everyday people, corporate citizens, the government, to achieve our mission. So definitely, finding out how you can support the BNT or invest in nature is very important for us. The theme of Earth Day 2022 is actually invest in the planet.
Yeah.
So that's very big thing for us. So one of the major ways we encourage people to get involved, at least me personally, the first thing I say is come out and see a national park.
Right.
That's a major thing. This is why we exist. We exist to manage these spaces, again, to protect the animals and protect the plants, but really to manage these spaces for future generations. We want to protect these spaces, the humans can enjoy them well into the future.
Right.
So our children and our grandchildren can enjoy the rich lifestyle that we had. And when I say the rich lifestyle, I'm talking about, being able to come out in the environment and, feel the trees and smell the fresh air and listen to the birds, jump in the water and snorkel a coral reef and kayak through the mangroves. So we protect these spaces on behalf of the Bahamian people. So the first thing I always encourage people to do is come out and visit a national park, see what we protect for you, see how these spaces are so important. They're important to our health, important to our economy. Everybody likes to talk, how tourism is our major industry. Tourism is only possible because of the environment.
Right.
Sun, sand, and sea is just a fancy way to say environment. It's all about the environment. So the first thing I encourage people to do is come out and visit a national park. Once you understand that and you see these important spaces, go on our website, learn more about us, learn about our projects and programs. Membership is a big facet of the organization. We encourage people to become members. There's a lot of benefits, a lot of perks to that. But the main thing is you get to explore and experience these natural areas for free. So membership is very important to our work. Donations, a one-time contribution, volunteerism. There's a lot of ways to get involved in the organization. You visit our website, we have everything listed out in terms of this is how you can get involved. You can make a membership. Membership starts at about $5 for kids, for seniors, and then it goes up to like $15 for students, and then $30 for
And this is just a one-time annual donation.
One-time annual contribution, right? And you get access to the areas. You are able to access properties internationally with a beautiful reciprocal arrangement with other properties and national trusts worldwide, about 30 different countries.
Amazing.
Go to and get either discounted or free admission to their properties as well.
Okay.
Jamaica, the Caymans, UK, Bermuda. There's a lot of really incredible areas. We could go and visit and see more areas. So we always encourage people to become members, donate. Just learn more, become more aware about our work. We're doing this for Bahamians. We do this on behalf of Bahamians. I've been very honored to work here. It's been really incredible. So that's how you can get involved. For Earth Day, we always use Earth Day as an opportunity to celebrate national parks. So a few years ago, we started something called National Parks Day, which is this, big admission-free day where we just invite people to come and experience their national parks. So Earth Day, National Parks Day this year is held the 23rd of April, which is a Saturday. And we love a lot of parks opened for people to come and do activities like kayaking, snorkeling, bird watching. so many incredible things for us to do, so many incredible things for us to see. So just learning more about our work and then figuring out how you can support the BNT. So many different ways to get involved.
Well, I'm totally convinced. Now just give me that website where people can go and check everything out.
So our website is www.bnt.bs. Very
Perfect.
easy to remember.
Yes, perfect. Well, Elijah, I am blown away by everything you've shown me so far at the BNT, and I'm seeing things that I'm absolutely in love with, like this orchid right up here. Are there a lot of orchids here at this property?
Yeah, so definitely. This orchid here, this is a moth orchid. It's one of the exotic species we do have at the retreat gardens. These are extremely popular in horticulture, so these are the ones that people normally buy and give for like special occasions.
Yeah.
They come in a million different colors. They actually breed different colors for these. So I mean, these orchids are just one of the many incredible species we have here. You
Yeah.
know, when we talk about, national parks protecting special places, we're really talking about biodiversity. And the retreat in particular it's 11 acres, so it's a pretty big property. And the history behind this place. This was actually once a private estate.
Really?
In the early 1920s, yes.
I didn't
So
know
this property
that.
was owned by Arthur and Margaret Langlois. And they had this property historically. They bought it for some Canadian men way back then. And they got into gardening a lot. The building we see up front that used to be our
Yeah.
office was actually their private home.
Oh,
And that home
wow.
dates back to the 1860s. So this property was either like a colonial farm or property or plantation or a farm.
Right.
So actually in about 1978, Arthur died and Margaret, her health started to decline. They wanted the BNT to take over the property and manage it. So with a little bit of funds from Jack Hayward from Grand Bahama, we purchased the property in the 1970s/1980s, and officially this became the headquarters of the BNT
Yeah.
in 1986. And this property protects a huge amount of native biodiversity. You
Really?
can see all the trees we have around, a lot of native trees, but also has a lot of palms.
Yeah.
So Arthur used to travel the world a lot for his job. He started taking photos and collecting palm trees and bringing them back here to plant. So as we walk around, we'll see a lot of really incredible palm trees.
Palm trees.
And this property was once one of the largest private palm collections in the world.
Really?
Back then, yeah, there was over 100 species of palms on this property from all over the planet. So as we walk through this park, you'll see a lot of native plants, and you'll see a lot of exotic palm trees as well.
Right.
And a lot of trees grow a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit attract a lot of birds. So the retreat is also an incredible birding hotspot. You can actually just hear all the birds around us.
Right.
And
It's very peaceful.
very, very peaceful. So you come here in the early mornings, you'll just hear a lot of birds, you'll see a lot of birds. So this national park, most people know it for wine and art and jollification,
Right.
those really fun events. But when those things are not happening, this park is simply incredible. It's a beautiful place to come take a walk, have a picnic, do some photography. It's just an incredible space, and this is just a taste of the national park system in the Bahamas. Like I said, we have 32 national parks, and this is only 11 acres. We have parks that go up to 1.5 million acres on the west side of Andros. So when we talk about special places, these places are simply incredible. Every park has so many things to offer, so many incredible things to see. And I've been to 28 of the parks, and they're all
Oh, so
incredible.
you yourself haven't been to all of the parks yet?
I don't think anyone has been to all of the Indian national parks. A lot of them are pretty remote and hard to get to.
Yeah.
But through my job and the work that I do, I get to experience them a lot. But yeah, the parks in New Providence, like Bonefish Pond and Pine Needle Forest, they protect so many incredible areas. Like I said, this space is incredible. You'd see like a lot of the palm trees. And if you go to
Yeah,
Pine
I
Needle
wanted to
Forest-
ask you about the holes.
Right. So so the Bahamas is made out of limestone, calcium carbonate, which is very porous rock, basically. So these limestone holes are actually natural.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and if you
perfect.
look at a lot of them, so they have a lot of trees in it. So Arthur and Margaret back in the days, they actually planted the trees in these
Inside
holes.
the hole.
Right. Because they hold moisture, and they also collect leaf litter, which is fertilizer for trees.
Okay.
So we call them banana holes because people also plant banana trees in them.
Oh, look at this one.
Right, and then in some cases, like I said, it was a garden. They hired 2 gardeners to help them manage the property, and some of them they built actual walls around. Some
Okay.
of these walls.
Oh, let me see this.
Oh yeah, so this is another one of the moth orchids. Like I said, they come in incredible amount of colors and They come in a lot of incredible colors and varieties. These are not native, so they're actually exotic. We do have native orchids as well.
Really?
Yeah, so we actually have some that can only be found in the Bahamas.
Oh, that's amazing.
You find them a lot in the pine forest, like you go in Andros and Grand Bahama, etc. They are incredibly beautiful and they smell great. We have some here, but they're not in bloom.
Okay.
But if you come back here in like April or visit any pine forest in April, you'll see these really small, incredible looking flowers, and those are endemic or native Bahamian orchids.
Great. Well, we're going to head out to a break while Elijah shows me the rest of the retreat. See you after the break.
Try it first.
Caribbean Wines and Spirits offers a wide selection of white, red, and rosé wines from around the world. Fine sakes, the House of Angostura premium rums, liquors, and bitters, as well as Landshark beer, Nimrod vodka, and refreshing Vita Coco coconut water. You may be familiar with Caribbean Wines and Spirits via our sampling events, the SIP TV show, Mixin' with Marv, the monthly Tour de Vino wine subscription box, or the many restaurants and bars that currently serve CWS products. But a quick visit to cwsbahamas.com will show that Caribbean Wines and Spirits, which is a proud subsidiary of the Caribbean Bottling Company, has even more to offer than you may be aware of. If you want to experience the complete line of CWS fine products, you can do so in a number of ways. 1. Visit the website at cwsbahamas.com to see our complete lineup of products. 2. Contact our customer service team at customerservice@cbcbahamas.com, telephone 397-4250, or WhatsApp at 814-0372 for pricing and to make a pickup or home delivery order. 3. Visit the front desk at the Caribbean Bottling Company's Sir Milo Butler Highway location to pick up your wines, spirits, beer, bitters, or Vita Coco order, or to make a purchase. 4. You can also enjoy our monthly Tour de Vino wine subscription. It takes you on a tour around the world with 2 bottles of international wines, free gifts, delivery, and a monthly digital wine tasting. Now that you know how to get in contact with Caribbean Wines and Spirits, don't hesitate to allow us to take you on a tour around the world.
My name is Elijah Sands. I'm the Senior Communications Officer at the Bahamas National Trust, and here's a tip for Earth Day. Visit a national park. That's a challenge more than a tip. We have 32 national parks in the Bahamas. You can find out more about our website at bnt.bs Explore. Figure out which national park is near you and how you can visit it and what things you can see. If you live on New Providence, we have 4 parks in New Providence. We have the Retreat Gardens, Bonefish Pond National Park, Primeval Forest, and Harlan Wilson's Pond National Park. So I challenge you to visit a national park on Earth Day or on National Parks Day, when admission is free in all national parks.
Elijah, Anna, thanks a lot for that wonderful tour in the BNT. It's a little humid today. I kind of wish we were indoors, but it's always nice to be out in nature. We had a good talk about recycling cans. I'm sipping a little Dasani can water right now. And I think I might have to sign up for membership now. I really enjoyed my time here.
Well, we hope you do, and we also hope that on Earth Day and any other day that you bring your cans to be recycled here at the Retreat Garden, where we have a receptacle to do so.
Excellent, excellent.
Speaking of recycling, you can carry your glass bottles to MPCC to be recycled there.
So for more information on anything you've seen on today's episode of The SIP, you can visit cwsbahamas.com. In particular, we encourage you to continue to recycle your cans, recycle your bottles, not just on Earth Day, but on any day. Even though it's a little unusual, we're going to do our usual SIP toast with water. Giggity. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.